Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this Friday Fun Fold card. Today we're going to make a flip-flap trifold card. I've also seen it as a trifold flip-flap card. So you choose how you want to call it. Isn't it pretty? And it just opens like this. I looked at the video for Robin Roost. It's Robin's Roost. I guess it's Robin from Robin's Roost. And she had everything. I kind of changed it a little bit, but the main measurements are from her. I will have all the measurements in a project sheet below the video in the description. There's a bunch of links there. So if you want to just watch this without writing everything down, go for it. So I made this card. I love this paper. I kind of forgot about it with all the new stuff, but this is old and I've gone through a lot of it. I have to order another pack. I have this big sheet, but this is the Nests of Winter, and I fussy cut this. I was going to use it, but I thought it would be too big and it would get caught on the flaps. So I cut this one. I'll save this for another project. So there are a lot of birds that you can fussy cut out if you have the patience for it. It wasn't too bad though. And then I used the Delicate Pines. I thought that was good for warmest winter wishes. And then I also, on the inside, I used some of these pine branches. So I did just one part of this 3 times. I just inked it up. There's plenty of space here. You don't have to even mask it. And then this over here, and this Celebrate the Season. So I thought that was a good combo of products. And then I also used the Gathering Leaves embossing folder to emboss this. This is Crumb Cake and Basic Black. But I will have in the project sheet all the products I used as well. And then these neutral matte dots, I used the black ones just to add something there. So I think that's everything on this card. Of course, we're going to use different products. For the card we're going to make on the video, I'm using the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. It's a specialty paper. It has all this pretty gold in here, and I know this was was here and gone and here again, so I think it's in stock again right now. It's beautiful, but I decided to use that. And then we're going to here's the pieces. We'll go through everything. So we're going to use Real Red as our card base, and we're just going to score it. It's 5.5 by 8.5, so it's a half a piece of cardstock, and we're making an A2 size card here in the US. So if you're in and make different sizes, I'm not sure. I only know how to make these, unfortunately. So we're going to score it at 1 1/8. Is that right? I'm sorry. Score it at 2 1/8. I thought that was really kind of narrow. 2 1/8, which is half of 4 1/4, and so it'll fold up to make the 4 1/4 by 5.5 size card. So we're going to turn it around, and we're going to do the other side at 2 1/8. Okay, I think we're done with this. And then we're going to fold these to the center, and hopefully they meet nicely. Sometimes you're off by a fraction of an inch, and it kind of throws off your card. But you could fix it before you use the bone folder. You can kind of try to adjust it. All right, so this is our card base. Now to make the flip pieces and the flap pieces, flip flap, it's just pieces adhered to either side of this. So it's really simple. I thought there was going to be something folded and all of that, so I was surprised to see how easy it is. So to do this, I decided I would use the gold foil. It's so pretty. And so I have two, a top and a bottom. Let's get these all together. This is our middle, and then we have our top and our bottom layers. So the top layer, the foil, and in this card, the white. The top and bottom pieces are both, the kind of the matte pieces, are both 1 5/8 by 4. So you'll have 2 of these. Then the designer series paper for this is 1.5 by 3 7/8. Now on this card, I made it a little smaller. I don't know if you could see the mat is bigger, or the designer series paper is smaller, but I didn't want to, I wanted it to be a little tighter here. So on this card, the designer series paper is 1 3/8 by 3 3/4. On this one, it's 1.5 by 3 7/8. Okay, and that's both the top and the bottom pieces. Okay, and then the middle piece is, the mat is 2 by 4, and then this piece is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So that's how our card is going to look, and then we'll decorate it and stamp and all that good stuff. So let's start by putting our layers together. I am going to use, I'll use my my Seal Plus. I find that the gold foil is, it's a little slick, and sometimes I'm slipping around with the liquid glue. So we just want to get it all even and straight and all that good stuff. So we'll do these, and then we're not going to do the middle. We're not going to put it down until we decorate it, but we'll get these pieces together. Okay, and then you could decide which way you want them, which one goes on top, which one goes on the bottom, if you like it. On this card, I was really trying to cut around, so I got a couple of birds in each one. I missed the beak there. And then I was like, oh, I wish I made it bigger on this card too. I would have had his beak in there. So anyway, on this one, we are going to, I fussy cut this, and it was a little bit, but I don't mind doing it. I'm watching TV while I'm doing some of this stuff, so it wasn't too bad. And then we're going to stamp. And let me just get the stamp set out. I'm using the Jolly Holly stamp set, and I'm doing Merry Christmas. Okay, so when I do this, before I put this down, I want to do my Christmas, and I think I'll do that in real red. Or we could, should we emboss it? Let's emboss it. Let's heat emboss it. Let me get that. We'll do the Versamark. Let me just get my stuff. All right, so I think I got my stuff together here. I was going to do it in the red, but I thought maybe this would be better. So we're just using our embossing buddy. It's just like a powder, and it takes any static away from here. So when you stamp, your ink, your powder kind of stays on the sticky ink. And the Versamark is kind of a sticky ink. So we're going to do Christmas first, and I'm laying this here just to get an idea of where I want the Christmas. Now you can't see it, so I'm going to put the powder on it before I do the Merry, so I can see what I'm doing here, right? So I have, this is our tools kit, our embossing tools kit, and I don't know why I took that off. This is what you do to pour it in when you're done. You pour it back into the jar. So a jar, this is the Wow Gold Embossing Powder. This jar will just last forever and ever because you just keep pouring it in. And I like to do it twice. And I like to flick it. And we're going to heat this up, and then we'll do the other, the Merry part, okay? So I will mute this so you don't have to listen to it. Now you know it's done when it's all shiny. Isn't that pretty? So now we can do the Merry. So let's get our Versamark back. And now we know where we can place the Merry. Okay, put this away, take this back out. Pour a little more on. This always amazes me, how pretty it is, especially with gold or silver for Christmas cards. So pretty. And I'll take care of that. So what I'm going to do when I'm done is I'm going to take this off and pour this back in to the container and put it away. And I like to rinse this to get anything that might be left over so I don't mix it the next time I use it. All right, I'm going to go on mute again. So just like magic, now we have this, and then this can come right here. Okay, and then we're going to put it on here, and then we'll put our flip flaps together. I'm just going to put this on so I don't knock it over, because I always knock things over. Okay, so let's put this on here. And I'm trying to think if I want to put it on with dimensionals. So I put the bird and the sentiment on this with dimensionals. I think I will. So let's get our dimensionals out. And I might cut a couple of pieces to get them in those kind of corners so it's nice and flat. You just don't want it showing through on the other side. This one's a little close, but we're good. And let me get my snips and see if we can get, I'm going to cut them really small. See if we can get out to the edges. I want it nice and flat and solid. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong one. So you can cut these up. You can use the minis too. I'm not a big fan of the minis for some reason. The mini dimensionals. I think that's good. It should be secure enough, right? So we'll take the backings off of this. All these little pieces. So I'm working on my Christmas cards. I've got quite a few to make, but we're getting there. And I'd like to have a variety. It's nice to send, you know, special cards to special people, right? And I'm thinking before I put that down, I should have attached it, but I'm going to put the adhesive on this instead, because this is bumpy. I don't want to be pressing on it. And as long as you don't go out too far with your adhesive, you can do the underneath layer. Okay. And then we'll do these. So these are already done, right? So now what we're going to do is put these down. And I like to kind of line everything up to make sure that I have enough room. And what Robin did was she really held it down and in place while she did each one. So the top and the bottom we're going to adhere to the left side, and then the middle we're going to adhere to the right side. And you could probably do the opposite if you like it to open the other way. And we're just going to put adhesive here. Get this lined up. Nice border around it, even on both sides. Okay. And then I'm going to do the bottom one. Come on. The dogs are barking. My neighbor's dogs. Somebody must be walking. I don't know if you could hear them, but there's a whole bunch of them and they're always barking. All right, so now we have those two pieces. So now we can just put this down here, our adhesive on the right side, And then let's just make sure we line it up. It is a little tight, but I don't think you want too much space there. There we go. And you can open it down here. So it opens like this, and then it closes like this. It's pretty, right? Okay, let's do the inside layer. And I have an inside layer, and then I cut a piece of this. This is 1 by 4. I'm trying to figure out if there's a up and a down. It's an all over pattern, but some of the flowers are going that way, so I am going to go with that. And on the inside, I will be using a stamp from the Jolly Holly. It says, "May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love." I thought that was really nice. So, do we want to emboss this as well? Let's go for it. So I'm going to just put this here and just, I don't want to put this down until I stamp, but I like to have an idea of where it's going to be. So let's do the Versamark again. Make sure I have it the right way. And we're just going to put it right here. Then I'll put this down after I know it looks good. If it doesn't, I'll just flip it over. So we'll get this out. It's a little crooked, but I think it's okay. Oh, that's good. All right, so we're going to put the cap on this, and then we'll clean this up later. And one more shot with the heat tool. Okay. It looks good. I did go from the back a little bit because it does get a little bit warped. Not bad, but on a bigger piece, sometimes there's a little warping, and you just got to make sure that when you put it, you adhere it, that you put a lot of adhesive down on the edges so it doesn't buckle. Okay, so let's do that. Let me just trim this off. This must be just a little bit too long here. Okay, and then let's do this. I'm going to go like this. So we're going to open this up and adhere this between the score lines. Try to get it straight, top to bottom. Okay. And then I thought we would add one of these. This is the traditional sparkling sequins. I think this is what's out of stock right now. And we could either go with gold or red. And I think I might go with the red. And let me get my take your pick tool. I'm trying to see where I want it. I think I'll put one up here. As you know, this is my biggest struggle. I don't really like that. Let's see. Maybe I'll just put it like that. How's that? You're supposed to put 3 or an odd number, and I just really struggle with where to put them randomly. So, Merry Christmas. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. So that's one card. And then warmest winter wishes, celebrate the season. Okay, so these are the 2 cards. Let's look at our calendar. November, so we're at November 14th already. How did that happen? Next week, we're going to make a triangle flap fold card. You try saying that. And then the end is a double flap triangle fun fold card. Whew, the names of these are a little wild. So if you want this calendar, if you don't already get it, you can subscribe to my email list. There's a link below the video along, with the project sheet, my online store if you want to shop there. So if you subscribe to my email list, you'll get this each month in your email, along with some other emails that I tell you about, like a weekly wrap up and some whatever promotions are going on, my card classes. I try not to send too many emails, but I do want to let you know what's going on. And just on here, there's sketches. I post them on my blog, my Facebook page. I do color combos each week. And then these are just ideas to encourage you and inspire you. All right, so thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.